if you looked at this ranked account and you thought, what is the biggest thing holding this player climbing to their goal rank, which is Diamond? What would you say it is? 45% win rate overall, 44% win rate in their last 40 games, 63% win rate Zaya, 58% win rate Jinx, 50%, 52%. What would you think is the biggest thing holding them back? Well, this player actually thinks it's trolls, so aka bad teammates, rages, inters. But in reality, it's his approach to solo queue. Right now, you can see that his Zaya and his Jinx are clearly the biggest win conditions for him to climb to Diamond. So in today's profile view, we're going to be breaking down exactly what to do when you're a Silver 4 player who thinks it's trolls, bad teammates, rages, or inters who are holding you back from climbing. We're going to break down exactly what you actually need to focus on in this profile view. Now, before we get into it, if you're interested in getting your own profile view just like this, please check out the link in the YouTube description below. You can book your very own free profile view. Let's get into the call. And in the next 10 minutes, I am going to show you how to go from Silver 4 to Diamond using a variety of different methods. And really, the only thing you got to do is make a choice of which method you want to take and, actually commit to it. So the 4 things we're going to be covering off today is the role you need to play to get to Diamond, the champions you need to play to get to Diamond, how to fix your mentality or the mentality you need to get to Diamond, because it's the top 2% of players and right now you're in the top 62%, so we've got a long way to go there. And then the 4th one is your laning phase, which is an in-game thing that you need to solve that I can't solve in this profile view, but I can help point you in the right direction at the end of the call. So, champion pool. Right now, AD carry is by far your most successful role, or the role that you have the highest chance on in climbing. And that's because you have your Zaya and your Jinx. Now, I'm not too concerned about your Tristana, and your Caitlyn actually has shown some promise in your most recent 40 games. But what I'd be recommending to you is looking to one trick, either Zaya or Jinx, and then playing the other one maybe 20% of your games. Because when we're trying to go from Silver 4 to Diamond, it's a massive leap, right? And so what we need to do is focus all our effort onto 1, 2, 3 things. Like really just focus and master something. And so the quickest way to do this and the most effective way to do this, and generally the most effective way to climb in solo queue, is to one trick a champion. Now, if you're not comfortable with one trick a champion, that's not how you want to play, or you are willing to one trick a champion, I would say probably pick your Zaya. But let's say you're like, well, I don't want to one trick, I actually want to learn and develop my champion pool at the same time. I would say probably 2 trick and do like a 70-30 split where you're playing one of your champions 70% of the time and then you're playing your second 30% of the time. And to be honest, if you're expanding your champion pool much more than 2 champions as a Silver 4 player who's wanting to get to Diamond, it's going to be really hard for you to climb and you're just reducing your chances of climbing at that point. So I'm trying to really showcase what the highest percentage chances of you getting to Diamond are, and that is kind of the strategy. Every champion pool, every champion you add, really does reduce your chances of a very hard or already hard accomplishment, which is, Silver 4 to Diamond 4. You're going from the top 62% of players to the top 2%. And I would say 99.5% of Silver players never make it. So if you're trying to be that top 5%, you've really got to take the advice that I'm giving you, but also keep that champion pool small. Now, if you're looking to expand your champion pool or play other champions, what I'd suggest is get a second account and just play ranked on that, expand your champion pool and play all the champions you want to have. Basically have one account for learning and having fun, which is your Smurf account, and then you have your main account, which is trying to get to Diamond. The second thing we need to talk about is the role you're playing. Sorry, I should say. I've kind of already gone into it, but basically you need to stop playing mid lane. I don't know what got in your head to play like 3 mid games in a row, but mid lane is not for you. Keep playing your AD carry role because it's your best chance of climbing. The third thing I want to talk about is your mentality. So right now you said the biggest thing holding you back is trolls, but in reality it's yourself. And this is going to sound harsh and you might disagree with me, but I can see here a 44% win rate in your last 40 games and a 45% win rate in your last 160 games. Yet I can see 1, 2, 3, 4 champions in your most played champions that have a higher win rate than 45 and 44%. So what does that say to me? That doesn't say to me that you have a problem with bad teammates. That says to me you have a problem with picking too many champions, playing too many champions, or playing champions that aren't the best for you to climb with. And if your goal is to get to diamond, you need to be playing the champs that you personally are best to climb with, or you have your best chances. And we go to op.gg and we look at the win rates, and we can see again your Xayah and your Jinx and recently your Caitlyn are your biggest standouts, and they are the champions you should really be focusing on. So you really need to start taking a bit more accountability for your ability or inability to climb, because it's not actually bad teammates, trolls, inters, feeders. Everyone gets those, and everyone has the same problem with them. Everyone has to climb out of silver into gold, versing trolls, feeders, rages, inters. Everyone, it's the number one problem, right? So while yes, it is a problem, and yes, it sucks, there's nothing we can really do about it. And the fact that everyone's complaining about trolls, rages, inters makes me think, well, it's an unchangeable problem, and I think time is better spent when we're focusing on the things we can change rather than the things we can't. And so coming back to your champion pool and the role you play, they're really the two most, the biggest things you can impact. And then your mentality is, how you approach games, and really how frustrated do you get about trolls, rages, inters, because they're an inevitable part of the game. So really, as long as you learn, or the less you allow them to affect your mentality, the higher increases of win rate you're going to have, because you're going to tilt less, you're going to enjoy the game more, and you're going to focus on your own gameplay more, which is the key for improvement and the key to climbing. Focusing on other people and what they're doing in League of Legends is never the way to climb, particularly when you're trying to go from silver 4 to diamond. Now, the fourth thing I want to talk about is your laning phase, because right now on your account, your laning phase isn't that crash hot. Overall, you're averaging about a 1.3 gold lead. For the champions you're playing, that should be higher. That should be about plus 200, plus 300. So something's going wrong in your laning phase. Your Caitlyn is negative 260 as an example. So you're almost behind a kill. Tristana's a little bit better, so you're ahead about half a kill. And then we've got Xayah, which is ahead of a kill. Again, play your Xayah. She's a good champion. You're playing well on her. And then we can see Jinx again, a kill and a bit. So, it really stands out to me that Xayah and Jinx are your best champions, but you should also, if you are looking to play Caitlyn and Tristana, really focus on that laning phase. Now, Leonardo, those are the big four things you need to do to fix them. And, as I said earlier, 99.5% of silver players never make it to diamond. And the 0.5% that do, they either commit to a strategy or they get coaching. And so I would say coaching is the more successful route, because I see so many people get these profile views, they try and do it on their own and they give up after a month or 2 months. They hit a losing streak, or they forget what I said, they go back to their old ways, and they become hard stuck again. With coaching, the best kind of coaching I see that helps players get from silver to gold to plat to diamond is monthly coaching, where you have monthly game reviews, you'll have 24/7 access to the coach via Discord, challenger coaches, or you can get lower coaches, or I can coach you even myself. 24/7 access to your coach via Discord, weekly group training sessions on, how to review your own gameplay, how to play laning phase, how to team fight, all those kind of things and many more. Basically, every single basic concept in League of Legends you need to climb, we teach it in our weekly boot camps. And then statistic tracking, monthly goal setting, and recordings of your reviews, so you're able to watch them back. So, Leonardo, if you're interested in something like that to help, give yourself the best chance of going from silver to diamond, it's still a really tough journey. Again, only 0.5% of players who are silver right now will ever make it to diamond. So it's really, really tough. But if you're serious about it and you want help to do it, I would recommend coaching. What I'd say is, after this call, if you're interested in getting some coaching, we can book a free one-on-one. I can talk to you and customize the best coaching solution for you, your goals, and how you want to be coached. I can also explain all the different kind of types, and then we can go from there. So, Leonardo, I hope you enjoyed this profile view. Cheers, good luck in the Rift, and please, once you've watched this, reach out to me on Discord. Thanks.